Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris, and on today's video we're going to review a fragrance from the house of Versace. So today we have a fragrance from the house of Versace, and this is an Atelier Versace fragrance. The fragrance I have here today is Iris de Elite. I think that's how you pronounce it. I will list it down here below because I probably butcher these names quite a lot, but I will list it down here. This is what the bottle looks like. So it's a very nice, simplistic type of bottle. At least for Versace, it's simplistic. It's not simplistic for any other brand. It is a dark glass bottle. So if you want to look at that, oh, look how pretty that is. And also you get the cap, you get the Medusa head on there. You also get the name here where it says the name of the fragrance, and it also says Atelier Versace there. At the bottom, you're going to get some information. Sorry, there's some like styrofoam because this is a tester bottle. When you get this fragrance, I will show you what the box looks like now. For this fragrance itself, the box is a little bit different because they kind of come in different boxes for each different fragrance. This is from one that I reviewed previously, Santal Boise. Just so you know, for the Iris fragrance, this will be blue instead of being black. But this is the same vibe that you're going to get. You're going to get a very nice sturdy box. And this will be identical to the one that we have here today. So you're going to get the exact same inside box. It is black. It is a very nice textured, type of cardboard here. You do get a very nice logo there at the front that says Atelier Versace. If you're not familiar with Atelier Versace, by the way, it is Versace's haute couture line. So it's like Chanel, but Chanel doesn't do a different name for it. Dior doesn't do a different name for it. These brands have different names for it because they're technically not haute couture. To have haute couture, you actually have to have a actual distribution and manufacturing in the city of Paris. And a lot of these brands don't do it, but they do high fashion, and they do exactly the same thing in a different country, which is Italy, and they label the brand Atelier Versace, which is made to wear. It's very expensive. It's very exclusive. You have to be invited to buy it. Very different to, going to the boutique and buying just your regular fancy smanchy, I think that's how you say it, Versace pieces. But this is what the box looks like. It has that nice Greca pattern here on the side. It is textured, just so you do know. These are very nice boxes. You do get some inserts inside whenever you do get a fragrance like this because it is to protect your fragrance itself. But once you get this fragrance in the mail or whenever you buy it from the Versace site, there you go. Ooh, look at that. It's very fancy. It's very fancy schmancy. You can see the background there. There's a lot of plants. I'm sorry. But it is a very nice box. You can reuse it for other different things. You can take out the insert as well and use it for like storage things. You can put things in it if you'd like. You get the gist of it. So back to this fragrance. This was launched in 2021, so it's not that old. It's not the newest anymore. This line is not that old by any means. It is a line that I don't see any reviews on it. I don't see a lot of attention being brought to this line. Some of them so far have been really good fragrances, and then some of them have been kind of letdowns. You're kind of like, why would I pay 330 US dollars for a bottle of fragrance that smells like something else? Because that's what these do run you. They are 330 US dollars for 100 mils or 3.4 fluid ounces. So the perfumer for this fragrance is Jordi Fernandez. I will list it down here below. I am also probably butchering the first name, the last name. I can say, I can say that one. But this fragrance is very surprising to me because typically when I hear Iris, I'm like, I like Iris as an actual scent or an actual note and fragrance, but whenever it's an Iris based fragrance, I typically am very like, it's going to be boring. That's just where my mind goes to. That's probably not correct. And I know a lot of people out there really like the actual note of Iris. I prefer Orris, which is the root of the Iris plant, but Iris is the main focal point for this fragrance here. And I just have to say, I'm incredibly surprised with this fragrance. It is a very nice fragrance. It is well done. It is very refined. It is sexy. It is woodsy. It is powdery. It has everything you want out of a fragrance. I will say that it can lean a little bit more masculine, but it does have some feminine touches in here because it does have a very nice benzoin. It does have a very nice tonka bean inside of it as well, and some very nice vanilla elements in this fragrance. It does have some very nice mandarin inside of it too, which can, make it a little bit more feminine, a little bit more delicate, but it's extremely well done. It's a true unisex fragrance. Like I said, it leans a tiny bit more masculine than feminine. I think both men and women and anything in between would like this fragrance overall. Very well done. Like I said, the actual notes on this fragrance for the top, you're going to get, bear with me because there's quite a bit of them here, and I have a little handy dandy booklet here. On the top, we're going to get pink pepper, orris butter. We're going to get mandarin, yellow. I'm not sure what that means essentially. Orris accord and coriander seeds. So orris is the top note here essentially. You do get that very beautiful mandarin in there as well. That pink pepper doesn't shine quite a lot because it's not a spicy scent, but it just adds a little bit of a different flair to the fragrance. You know, it's like adding some pepper to a very nice soft dish of food, and it's not going to make it spicy necessarily. It's not going to make it, you know, overly spicy essentially, but it will make the fragrance have a little bit more of that kick, a little bit more of that je ne sais quoi, if you will. Then for heart notes, we're going to get cedarwood, sandalwood, as well as ambergris. And I think ambergris makes this fragrance just amazing. Now, both of the actual sandalwood and the actual cedarwood in this fragrance are going to be a little bit more dry, but the ambergris adds just this whole different element to this fragrance that really makes it very sexy and soft, but airy at the same time. So you grab two very dry, woodsy notes and you add ambergris, which is really just, like I said, going to add a very nice, light, delicate touch to this fragrance. It's going to soften those so they're not so harsh in your face. It's not going to be too deep. It's going to add some depth, of course, but it's not going to be a very deep, woody note in here. And it's just really, I just have to say, I'm very, very rarely surprised and shocked by fragrances, but this one itself has done it very well. The perfumer did a very good job at mixing these elements and making all of them work in cohesion together, because typically you have one note that stands out, one note that's dissipating in the background. All of these notes themselves so far are working together to really present you a very beautiful fragrance. Then in the base, I have quite a bit of them here. I have tonka bean, vanilla, musk, benzoin resinoid, orris, germanic resinoid as well. So you do get some orris in this fragrance as well. So that's going to add that very nice iris touch. And also one of the notes that's listed in here, but it's not necessarily listed in any actual, you know, structure. So top, bottom, or base. Or top, heart, or base. It is listed just as Italian iris, and obviously this fragrance is going to be powdery. We know that iris overall is very powdery. What I like about this one is that it grabs iris, but it also adds orris, because orris is similar to iris in a lot of ways, but it's extremely different because it's a more creamy, sexy, deep, earthy version of iris. Iris can kind of come off green, it can kind of come off powdery, it can kind of come off lipsticky, and orris itself is just a much more better version, to me at least, in my humble opinion, of iris, and it really just adds a nice extra element. A very nice, expensive, and luxurious version of iris is orris to me, and they really played with that here, and they really did a fantastic job. This fragrance, like I said, is extremely well done. You do get some pretty good longevity out of this fragrance as well, which I was very shocked with, because my first two purchases from this house were, I believe it was called Cedra de Diamante, as well as the rose one. And Cedra de Diamante was good. The rose fragrance from this line itself was absolute crap to me. I did not like it. I thought it was just very generic, you know, very not, it was not the tea essentially. And this fragrance here has really changed my mind with it. Also, Santalboise was a very nice fragrance, although it doesn't really smell good on me. It smells good on a lot of other people that I've had try it. This one itself, I really do like. And I will say, as of now, this is probably my favorite iris fragrance, and that's saying a lot because I typically am much more of a fan of orris. Obviously, it does have orris in here, but I do really like this fragrance. It's probably my favorite one at the moment. I do get that a lot of people are going to think that this fragrance is similar to Infusion de Iris or a lot of other iris fragrances that we're used to smelling, and it's not. You're going to get some woody elements, you're going to get some depth in here, you're going to get some sweetness out of the vanilla and the benzoin and the tonka bean. So it's a very deep, sexy, creamy type of iris fragrance. It's extremely well done. It's a little earthy. It's a little dry, but it has this beautiful amber and ambergris touches to it, which are just going to make this fragrance incredibly, incredibly well done. And I do recommend this one, you know, because it is a very well made fragrance. Do I think this fragrance represents the House of Versace? Yes and no. It's a little soft for Versace. When you think Versace, you tend to think it's a little bit, more avant-garde, a little bit flashy, a little bit over the top, a little bit, too much, a little gaudy, if you will. This one's not going to do that, but it is extremely luxurious if you are thinking of creme de la creme, a very expensive, or that quiet luxury trend, or stealth wealth. This fragrance, although it's Versace, and that's typically not what we think of Versace for, this fragrance does deliver that. If you were to put this fragrance in a Celine bottle, I would have been like, that makes sense. But it is a really nice fragrance, and I do think that you guys would absolutely love it. Let me know if you have smelled this down below in the comments. Let me know which other ones you would think I would like or that you would like. Let me know all that down below. Also, make sure to give the video a thumbs up, you guys, and make sure to subscribe for more fragrance related content. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Until next time, take care.